Okay, here you can see my drawings for the past week. I drew on most days and I was just generally trying to, keep up with it. I found it kind of weird with the eye placement. So you'll see in this one, the eyes are kind of far apart in some of them. I was trying to just mess about with my eye placement and see if I could get it better, because I find that my eyes are kind of normally too close or too far. They just don't look exactly right. But yeah, I did keep up with drawing for most of the days, so that's everything. So here's a graph tracking what I've done and what I haven't done. So every X is a day that I have done it, every dash is a day that I haven't done it. So you can see along the left hand column is the date, and then all the other bits are the skills and when I've practiced and when I haven't. So the first few days aren't recorded on here. I thought of this a couple of days after I made my first video. And you can see roughly how consistent I've been. I started work around the 12th, which is why I kind of dropped off there, but I've been getting back into it recently, so yeah. For guitar, I didn't change much. I added in a scale, so you play the first 4 notes of the scale, then go back to the second note, play 4 notes from that note, then go back to the third note, play 4 notes from that note, back to the fourth note, 4 notes from that note. So I played it it's the last clip I showed of my guitar drills. So yeah, that's the new scale that I've added. I also only stuck with 3 of the songs that I played. I stuck with Kerry's song, Merry Go Round of Life, from Howl's Moving Castle, and The Last of Us main theme. Those are the ones that I've been practicing for the past week or two. And yeah, it is good. It's good. I have made decent progress. It's pretty good. Like, I'm happy with what I've done with Kerry's song. I've improved quite a bit in that. That was the first song that I played. Merry Go Round of Life I didn't focus on too much. I've got a bit of improvement, maybe. And The Last of Us is, again, a bit of improvement. I kind of timing's off. I usually play with a tempo, or I play along with the original recording, but the video I did here, I obviously just use my own internal tempo, like metronome. But yeah, I need to work on my consistency with the timing. But I want to get to the point where I can play the song off rip. Like first try, I'll play it and it's good. Like the videos that I took here, it took me I don't know, 5 minutes for each song to actually get something that was, the one that I put in was after about 5 minutes of playing. So I want to get more consistent with my playing, so I'm going to work on that as well. Well, I guess that just takes practice, so I'll see when that comes to fruition, I guess. So some stuff I noticed for drawing is, like I mentioned, the eyes. So basically the eyes are too far apart in my drawings usually, or maybe too close together. They're just a bit off. Same with the head width. The head width is too wide usually. So I was trying to work on that a bit. I've also noticed that when I draw, usually people use the guide circle as the actual head. The head's kind of built around that. But when I draw the guide circle, it's almost always too big for the head, which is pretty weird. For Japanese, I was listening to the podcast for a bit, but it was really boring when I wasn't driving to just sit there and listen to a podcast in another language, so I started watching some anime episodes. So I watch anime episodes completely unsubbed and undubbed, and I've tried that a few times, and it's a lot more entertaining than just listening to the podcast when I'm not driving. When I am driving, when I drive back from work, it takes me about an hour, so I'll put the podcast on, then that usually gets that done for the goal that I set, which was an hour a day. I feel like I've started to pick up on a few more words. I feel like I've started to understand a bit more. It's still very early days, obviously, but I think the immersion is working so far. Again, really early days, so I can't really tell yet, but I'm happy with how it's going so far. And I think that's about it for the week. So, subscribe if you want to see my progress for next time, and I'll see you in the next video. See you later.